everybody, welcome to Lisa's Art Room. Tonight we're going to be working on our Halloween book Nook style vignette. Y'all come in and say hi, let me know you're here. We'll get started on this in just a minute. We're live on Facebook if you see the little red button at the top left. If not, it's a replay. Try to find y'all so I can see chat. Hey, Dawn. All right. Here we go. So we're working on our vignette. It's getting there. Which side opens? I'm backwards, so. I added a little hand closure. Look at this. Look at my little hand closure. So it keeps it from opening. I just saw that hand sitting there the other day and I was like, you know what? That will work. And I'd been trying to figure out how I was going to close it because it kept popping open. I was like, there's going to be a way. And it just magically appeared. I love when that happens. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get started on this, guys. I'll pull the camera up top so you all can see what I'm doing, and let's get going. All right, hold on one second. Oops, finger in my way. All right, let's make sure we're in the right direction. Yep, okay. And we're straight, not quite. Right about there. All right, that should be good. So, I added some crackle paste. I went ahead and did it ahead of time so that we wouldn't be stuck waiting for it to dry. Did have a lot of issues adding crackle paste to this. This book, whatever they put on here, this finish, nothing wants to stick to. I tried collage medium, I tried matte medium, I tried gessoing it, I tried so many things. And it just wasn't working. It wasn't having it. As soon as I put the crackle medium on, I just touch it and it just fall off. Like literally, just fall off. I ended up sanding the spots where I wanted it. So I just sanded it really well with like a 320 grit. And then I put collage medium down over the sanding. And then I put the crackle paste. And it finally is sticking. It's not perfect. Anywhere that it's not got sanding, it's still falling off. But if there's enough sanding, it's staying. But yeah, this material does not like anything. This I didn't have an issue with. The texture paste worked fine. I don't know why, but it did. It doesn't fall off at all. But that crackle medium, oh my goodness, it just was not sticking to anything. And it was a nightmare. I must have tried putting it on there like 10 times. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm never going to get this stuff on here. And I really wanted it on there. And it's like I was practicing on one of my littler books because I have like 6 of these. But yeah, that was a challenge. And that's just the, what's it called? The Ranger Texture Paste Opaque Crackle is what I use because I really like the crackle this gives. I don't really like the translucent one. It never cracks right. So I do prefer that one. I wish that the translucent one would crack right, but it doesn't. So, but anyway, hopefully this will stay on here. Most of it is. It's just, it was so temperamental. So we're going to color it now. I gotta figure out how I'm going to stand it. I am very patient. Some days I'm patient, Dawn. Some days I'm not. I'm going to try to find a can. Let me see if I can reach one. How tall does it need to be? Looks like a medium-sized can should work. Or I could use wood. I'm grabbing a couple of things. Hopefully they're not full of dust. You never know when they're over in my corners. It gets full of dust. Alright, let's see. Just need something to support it. That's not too bad. This is too tall. Alright. So, put my mic back on. I put the crackle medium on. I just used my finger and just put it on the edges. But like I said, if you're trying to cover this book, you're going to have to sand it. You're going to have to sand it and then put something over the sanding, like maybe gesso would be fine. I did use the collage medium. But I guess the sanding is going to be the key, because this finish is just too slippery and nothing wants to stick to it, which is really surprising because I've used the different mediums on glass and they've been fine. So I don't know why it was such an issue, but it was. So we're going to color it. I wrote down the colors I used on my test. So I used the crayon and the black. So the distressed crayon doesn't have to be black. It could be one of the darker browns, but I used black, so we'll stick with what I did. And then I used transparent burnt sienna ink. And I used rusty hinge spray. Rusty hinge. Do I still have it out here? Yeah. This has to be shook. The oxide sprays separate, so make sure you shake them. Do you use anything else? I may have threw some green in there. Book edge paint, yellow ochre, vintage white, touch of real brown. Okay, that's for the this. All right, so once that dried, it doesn't take long to dry. Maybe 4 hours. I feel like before it was good and dry. But once you get it to actually adhere, then you can color it. So I'm just going to use this crayon to just get into the cracks, and that will help them to show. It'll darken it, but it wipes off because it's just water-based. But we're just trying to get this into the... I'm just using my finger. If I don't lose all the crackle. If you don't want to use your finger, you could probably use like a stiff brush or something. Or put a glove on if it bothers you. I'm hoping most of this stays. You can see there's still some issues with it falling off. I probably didn't sand it good enough, honestly. I was a little worried about sanding it. I didn't want to tear it up. So I did it on just the book part. So we're going to get all this in here. And then we're going to wipe off everything but what's in the cracks. Just stay on there. A lot of it's coming off. We'll see what I'm left with. Hopefully it's all right. I hope. It's a cool finish. I really like the finish, but it does not like this book at all. It just doesn't. So these crayons are water-based, so they'll wash off your hands. And then I'm just going to use a wipe. I don't know, I might use a damp paper towel. We'll see. We'll see if I can do it with a wipe and not take too much off. I think I'm going to take too much off though, so do you have a cloth? No. All right, that's fine. We'll use a paper towel. I just want to take off, I'm just wetting this because I think the wipe itself might be too wet. I don't want to take off everything. I want the cracks to still stay dark. And because of this finish, it's going to wipe right off of this book. And maybe that's why they do it, to make it waterproof. I don't know. I suppose it holds up better. You know, they don't expect you to be putting stuff on it. So let me zoom in just a fraction. Hopefully I won't go out of focus too much. Try to get the whole thing in there. Maybe if I keep it sideways. There. You can see how the cracks now show up better. Okay. But yeah, I'm still losing little bits of it. That was just the craziest thing. I don't think I've ever had that happen on a surface where nothing would stick to it. And I have a lot of stuff to try. I was like, okay, so surely I thought for sure that the gesso would work. Nope. Okay, so once you get most of that off, okay, got all my bricks. I'll save that for later. So then we're going to use this acrylic ink, but I don't want to make a mess. I'm going to do a paper plate. And this is just the Liquitex acrylic ink. I like it because it is acrylic based, which means that once it dries, it's more waterproof. And I'm probably just going to put this on with a small brush. Let me find a small brush, maybe one of my little distress brushes. So this is just going to get brushed over. I don't want it super wet because I don't want to wait for it to dry. Hopefully, I can't tell if I'm on camera. My one screen's on camera, but I think my iPad might be off camera. The iPhone and the iPad are very different for whatever reason. Let's pull this up for this one. It looks like it's off a little bit. Right there, right there. It isn't quite. It's a little tall. But we're going to make this blend into our book. Oops. A little too much. It picked up that black crayon. I don't want it to pick up the black crayon. Okay, so we got the brown on. I mean, even just that much is not bad. I wanted a little green on this. I don't know where my test is, but I'm gonna put a little bit of green, I think, because I think it'll look better. Not much, just a teeny bit. So that's good, just like that. And then I did do a little bit of oxide. It says, not sure why, but it says I did, so I'll do what I did. Let me find something to wipe this on. Going to mostly dry that. If I can find my paper towel again. Alright, then I'll jump into the oxide just a little bit. It's a much lighter brown. Let's see if it shows up much. I can't imagine it did, but maybe a little bit. The oxide is not waterproof, so I don't know. I'm not sure why I picked it, honestly, because it's not waterproof. I might jump over to some of the ink. Oh, is it Distress ink? It might be Distress ink. I'm trying to remember what I had. It's Peel Paint Distress ink. It's a refiller. But the refillers are pretty powerful. They pack a punch. Just a teeny bit of that green. It's so dark, it looks like black on there, but I just want a little. Just kind of, it just grunges it a little more. Maybe on the edges. Just so it's nice and grungy. Now I did pay attention to my holes that I had in here when I was putting that crackle on, so I didn't cover them all up. Alright, I'll show my brush some. Alright, put that aside. And that's pretty good. So that'll be nice and grungy. Not focusing on me. Focus. God, this light. The lighting is, I have both of them on. Well, maybe it's, let me turn. I'm going to turn my ring light just a little bit closer or something. Is that better? Maybe a little bit better. Because it is a shiny surface, it gives me a lot of reflection. But it looks good. So that'll be good for that. So I'll talk about this little hand closure. So like I said the other day, I was like, I need a closure for this because it was not, when it's sitting up, it just popped open. How are we going to take care of that? And I was looking, I had these hands that I'd gotten from Dollar Tree last year. I think it was just a bag of hands, if I remember correctly. I feel like they had a little more palm here. I had cut them off at one point. And all I did was drill a hole through the hand, through the wood. And I had these really big brads. I was going to put a screw and a nut, washer nut, whatever. But I couldn't find one in my stash. It doesn't mean I couldn't have gone to the store and got one, but I didn't feel like going to the store and get one, so I had these big brads that were copper, brass, copper, I guess brass. So I drilled the hole, put it in there, lined it up where I thought it fit, and amazingly it fit just perfect. And then I just folded it up. Hey, light, you really got to cooperate here. I just folded it over on the inside. Okay? So, a very simple fix, but it works perfectly. I mean, you just move it and it holds it. So, that's my closure. Fun, fun. And we need to get that floor glued in. It's sitting in there. It's not glued in right now. So we have our little wood floor we did last week that hasn't been attached yet, as we were waiting on drying and everything last week. So I'm just going to glue that in place. I'm thinking about using double stick tape. I mean, I could use regular glue. I don't think it's going to affect my hole. I'm looking at my holes. I think they're above it just fine. So I don't think it's going to affect anything, but I think I'm just going to use double stick tape. Grab my double stick tape. Let's see, how can we do this? Maybe, where's that can at? That's the hardest part of this, is figuring out how to hold everything, because I don't have, 3 different angles. I don't have 3 different cameras at different angles, like some people do. I watched some of the other people and I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys must have like an elaborate setup, because I don't even know how they get the angles sometimes. Like those, do y'all watch those ASMR videos where they're doing the junk journaling? And oh my gosh, just the filming is impressive. I'm just like, wow. I don't even know. I don't have that kind of setup. I have a homemade tripod that I literally threw together with some scraps of wood and, you know, my iPad. Stay. It works for me, but, you know, it's not elaborate in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to knock that off. Trying to stay in my space. Actually, I'm overlapping there. I might have to move that piece. And we'll just go to there. All right. And then maybe just a couple down the middle. I'll do 3. Should be more than enough to hold this guy. Doesn't like that. All right, so we're going to stick that in there. Make sure everything's rubbed down. And pull off our tape. Sticking to me. It's not separating. Stay. There it goes. All right. So this doesn't really have a direction per se. I think I painted this edge, it looks like. That edge doesn't look painted, so we'll go with this way. And it just sits in there. So we're going to make sure we get it all the way to the back. And just plop it in there. Squish it down. Just going to make sure it sticks. Okay, so our floor is in there. All right, what shall I do? So today, I think I want to get the fence on, figure out where the lights go maybe. I got to put the lights in ahead of time somewhat, which is always a challenge. I at least have the holes. I got to put them in before I put the dresser or anything on the walls. I think I can go ahead and put this, although I could use that little piece of wood to cover them. I don't know, it might not be thick enough. It might be. All right, so I have, where to go? I have that little strips of wood that I'm going to use to hide the wires of the little fence. And I'm thinking that they might also be helpful for hiding the lighting. I think on the inside I'm just going to do white lights. If it looks too bright, you don't like split screen where you can see them and the projects. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I don't either. I think if I use white lights, the nice thing is I can always throw alcohol ink over them if I don't like the color or something, Whereas if I use green or blue or red, you know, with that, or even amber. So we're just going to start with white lights. I have these. I think I'm going to get a new pair though, because I've been playing with these for a year. So let's use a new pair. I got to think about where the lights are going to go. That's the hardest part. It really is. I think of doing vignettes, that is definitely one of the hardest parts, is figuring out where you're going to put your lights before you put it together, because it's really hard to put them in after. So you got to kind of have an idea at least. So I know I'm going to have some candles that I drilled out, which, whew, that was a challenge. So the Tim Holtz candles don't come hollow, okay? They're solid, which, you know, that's fine. But because they're solid, like resin, solid, you can't light them up or anything, which is cool. So I actually put them in my little vise, and I very carefully drilled them out. So I have some drilled out candles somewhere. Are they in here, or are they in a different spot? I bet they're in here. Yeah. I tried to separate everything, but okay, so I drilled some out. Now they have holes. I'll show you what that does. By doing that, you can put them everywhere, but you got to be careful. This is what happens if you get too close to the edge. So it is very tricky. Now I could still use this broken candle somewhere. It's not, you know, wasted, but you do have to be very, very careful and go very slow. I used a smaller bit up to a larger bit just to do it. But I got a bunch of them drilled out. So I'm going to put lights in those. This guy's going in, one of these guys. I don't know which one. Which one do I like better? I kind of like the dude with the feather in his hat. You may use him. He's got a little feather. So that's going to go in there. It'll have some pictures. It's going to have like this or something like this. I haven't decided. Here in the front, this one's too short, but I might make some. Let's see, is this one bigger? It's probably the same. I might have to put two together. If I don't use that, I will use a combination of that and this to kind of hide where I patch them, and then put a piece of cardboard or something on the back. And the only reason I do this is so that I could put lights on the front to shine this way, and they won't be shown. I did that on my project last year, and it worked fine. So we'll do something like that. So I'll need lights to come from underneath. That's where the holder will be. Up through the bottom. They'll come onto the table for certain things, like the candles. And then maybe some on the floor. And then for some up here. I don't know that I'm going to light this cabinet that goes there. I don't think that will be an easy way. I don't think I can light it easily because of the door opening and closing. I'd have a wire there, and I think it would be a problem. So I don't think I'm going to like that. So let's see where we want our holes. So we've got our table. It's going to go here. And we've got, what else do we have in here? A hutch. Where's my hutch? There it is. I've got a hutch. Okay. I'm going to have a window here. I think I grunched it up already. Goodness gracious. Is it in here? There it is. I hope I didn't throw anything in there I wasn't supposed to, like my moon. I've got some brooms in here, but I don't think I'll be using them. Some extra hands. I might take that hand because I've been wanting it. I was looking for some hands and I couldn't find any. They're cut off my extra skeletons. All right. So that's my drilled ones, right? Yeah. Okay. If y'all do decide to drill your candles, if you're going to do that, just make sure you use a vise of some sort. I've got that little mini vise. I've showed it to you, but some of you might not have seen it, so I'll show it to you. I have this little mini vise I got off Amazon, and a hand drill, but the hand drill doesn't work. It's not strong enough. I ended up using my regular drill. And then I just clamped them in here, turning the knob until they clamped. That way they weren't moving around, you know, they were secure. This can be attached to a piece of wood for more stability, but I just keep it loose. Usually I'm doing small enough stuff, it's not an issue. But it is a nice little gadget. I think I stuck it on my favorites list in my disclosure. I think. All right, so we're going to have a window there, which is this one I grunged up. I think it'll fit right there. I thought about putting a light behind it, but I don't know how to do it, so I don't think I'm going to put a light behind it, but I am going to put a picture of something behind it. It may just be a spider web, it may be outdoors, I don't know, something behind it. We'll figure that out. So I don't necessarily need lights there. I need lights here. This is like I said, this is the tricky part, guys. I'm going to have a lantern on top of the book where the skeleton is. He is hanging over looking at the other side. So this lantern will probably be on this side. So I'll need a hole through the top on this side. And it can be right up on the edge somewhere for the lantern. Because this also has a hole drilled in it, which I'll show you in just a sec. Don't let me forget. I say I'll show you things and then I forget. But I don't think I thought I was going to do a cauldron, but I don't know if I am. And if I do a cauldron, I'll probably wire it separately. So we're going to leave that for now because I just don't think I'm going to have room for one outside. So with that in mind, let's see. I want to see if one strand will be long enough. It should be long enough. They're very long. I think they're 6 feet long. So they're very long. Can I zoom any more? Nope, I'm as far back as I can get. Okay. I'm close and I forgot to pull it back a little. All right, so these are very long. I think 6 feet, like I said. Now these are not the Tim Holtz ones. These are the ones I get off of Amazon. But they're very, very similar. So if I come in through the bottom, all right, that will start me, say, in the back corner. Maybe that corner. I'll start in that back corner. So then I will come up along that back. I'm just guessing. I'm going to keep the table there, and then I'm going to run along the back, and then I'm going to run along the front. And when I do that, I usually put it on a stick of wood. So we'll use this popsicle stick because I have one handy. So I usually take a stick of wood and I just put the lights around and around and around and around until I get a bunch of them where I want them on the face. Okay, I'm just going to do some so I can see how long it is. Get an idea. Okay, this will attach to my curtain. So that'll come there. And then this will go back here and come out for the lantern, I think. I don't know if I'm going to put any candles on the floor. Actually, we need some place for the candles, so let's think about that. We still have a lot of room. How much we got? We got a bunch. So I could go from here to the candles, which will either be on the floor or on the desk. That's the logical place for them. And then back up through there, over here, over this top, and then back for the lantern. I think that'll work. So I need a hole in the back. I need a hole for the lantern. that should be it as far as coming through here. That should be it. All right, let me unwire this. If I can figure it out. The popsicle stick or a piece of wood is the easiest way to do this when you want to attach a bunch of lights to something. Just paint it black or something so it doesn't show up. All right, get my test strand out of the way. I'm just kind of keeping that one as a test because I've been using it so much. All right, so let's figure out where we need our hole. That's the tricky part. You've got to line it up. So I'm gonna go right up through that wood floor because I had to do it after the wood floor because obviously I can't drill through them separately. It just never works. So I'm gonna find a chalk pencil or something. I guess a chalk pencil and white maybe. All right, so I'll have to figure out the hole in the bottom. That's the tricky one. But it's going to be right there. Can you see that? Right there. So that's going to be hole 1. We're just going to go this way. I don't think we need any other holes there. I do have the fence going in right there and there. And then we'll put that little piece of wood over, I think, the wires and the fence wire. So we can kind of hide them a little bit. And I shouldn't need a wire there, a hole there. I just need one on the top, here and here, I think. I think that's the only place I'm going to need it. I mean, I guess I could put one here just in case. So I don't have to worry about drilling it later. I might do that, just to be sure. In case I just run out of room or something. I don't know. So now the trick is figuring out where that is. It's not horribly difficult, but kind of difficult. So we know that it's about yay far out. And then, so we want to follow that down. And then mark, we're just going to mark a little mark there. And we know it's in, like, the wall and everything. It looks like about 1/4 inch. So we're going to flip it over and we're going to follow this down, and then we're going to come in about 1/4 inch. And I'm just going to double check. It looks far enough in. Okay, that should be good. And then the second wire, like I said, is here. So I think about, I mean, I could possibly come from here. No, we'll keep it on the back wall. I can always hide. I'm debating if I can hide it. It's easier to hide in other places because I have a bunch of grunge, but for this lantern, I have to decide, is it going to be in the middle? Because I'm thinking the skeleton's going to be like so. Okay, he's going to be creeping around, hanging off the edge here, like he's going to grab somebody. So his lantern is just going to be sitting there, kind of next to him. I think I'm going to bring the wire hole in, because if I don't, and I can't hide it, I'm going to have to cover this with something, and I don't really want to have to deal with that. So I think it's safer to bring that wire hole in and cover it on the ceiling. So we're just going to put that about here. Okay, and I can cover it with whatever I put on the ceiling if I have to. Now we got to try to drill holes without destroying things. Let me show you this real quick just before I forget, because I'm going to forget. So, candles. So they are made so that you can stick a little light in there. You see? It doesn't light up a lot, but it's enough to make it look artificially lit, you know? It's just a little something. And some of them glow a little more than others, depending on how thin the resin was. Isn't it cool though? And you can fold it, like if you're in the middle, say if I'm at a spot here, And I need to get that in there. I tried to make sure that the hole was big enough that I could still get it in there, at least some. Okay, some of them it's a little tight, but because these aren't all created equal. You'd think they would be, but they're not. They're all slightly different, so. But it works, nonetheless. It does work. So that was the deal there. Okay, so let's see, what can we drill? This I might could drill with my hand drill, because it is very thin, and I don't want to put too much pressure on it. Let me see. So this little hand drill comes with multi-bits. Like I said, it's probably my favorites. It just has to be big enough for a light to go through. So we're going to start with this one and see if that's big enough. I don't remember if it was. And then this little thing just opens up. Clamps on there. I can never remember which way to go. That way? Yeah. That's a little long. Let's push it down further. Am I going the wrong way? I'm going the wrong way. Okay, there. So for this, you basically hold your hand here. It's got a little spinny thing, and then you turn here, and that's how it works. So we're going to try. I'm going to put my finger next to it, not under it. Try not to drill a hole in my finger. But the nice thing about this is it's not so crazy powerful. When you're doing something small and detailed, it can be handy. It is harder, especially if you have tendonitis. There it goes. Okay. Let's see how big that is. Light, so do I have a bigger one? If I don't have a bigger one, I might have to use my other one. What's the biggest one I have? This one, I think. And I've just got these taped on some gaff tape with the sticky side showing there to keep them straight, because they come in like a little piece of plastic. Is that the right way? No. Which way? I don't know why that's so hard for me. Alright, let's see if we can make that just a fraction bigger. Not much. And where's the light? Let's see if I can pop one through there. Find the hole. Tweezers. If I can get hold of it. Okay, it's big enough. It's not super big, but it's big enough. And if worse came to worse, I could totally just take my awl and make it a fraction bigger. So that works like that for the lantern. And the lantern's got a little hole in it. So it lights up if you get it lined up just right. Can you see that? Okay. So that'll work for my lantern. And the lantern would be the last light. So the last one on the strand, wherever I decide to cut it, because you can cut this anywhere. So if I have a ton left over, you can cut it and get rid of part of them. All right. Okay. So there's that hole. We got one down. Yay. Now I'm not going to try this with the bottom one because it's too hard for me. I don't have the hand strength for using these. Put that back in there where it goes so I don't lose it. Kind of, sort of. Alright. And let's get my other drill. What time is it? Whew. Using up all my time. Alright, other drill has to go through wood. And I'm going to make a mess here. I know. Get some of this stuff out of my way. Let's see. Oops, sorry, I bumped y'all. These go back in here. These go back in here. These are my current pieces. That's the ideal. They're my current pieces. So I don't have to run all over the room trying to find them. All right, let's see. What do we got here? So I feel like this one. Maybe this one? I don't know. Where's that? Let me look at a light. So it has to... Yeah, I think that's a safer bet. So, use this one, which is a 9/64. Okay. Let's see if we can stabilize this on something. The can work? Nope. How about my can and some pieces of wood? That might work. Let me find some sort of wood here. All kinds of little pieces floating around. One of those. I don't want to drill through this though, so I got to make sure it's clear. Oh, it should be clear because I'm not going to go there. That's too thick. Cardboard. Lots of things. Cardboard, almost. Almost got it. I got this piece. Aha. There we go. Nice and stable, hopefully. Let's see if we can do this. I'm nervous. Let me get my hand out of the way. All right. Hopefully it goes through in the right spot. I'm not going too fast because I want to kind of see what's happening with that wood floor. I'm going to go slow. It might pop up. I want to take a peek and see if it's popping it up. You stay there. Oh, hand. Did it pop up? I don't even see it. So yeah, it popped up. So, no, I can't tell where it is. All right, I might have to put some pressure there. That's going to be challenging. I'm going to put my finger under, but not under. I want to keep that floor from moving because I think that's what's happening. It's wood because it's popsicle sticks, but it's got a different resistance because it's just glued. Can't tell if it's... I'm still popping up. If I thought I could line it up, I'd do them separate, but I have a feeling I can't. I don't want to put my finger under it. You know what? I'm going to hold a piece of wood under it. I can't put my finger there because I'll drill through my finger. Let me find one of my pieces that I don't care about destroying. Hold on. Let me just stop real quick. My mic down. All right, I'm going to hold this under my piece of wood. Okay, and I'm hoping that that will give it the stability it needs. Now, yeah, there we go. Okay. If I get the light in there, you could see. See it? So we got through the wood, okay. That was, I knew that would be the trickier part. Well, let's just make sure that hole's big enough. It doesn't look super big. Of course, there's a lot of sawdust in there right now. So, where's my pokey tool? Oh, there it is. Just want to clean that out. All right, let's see if that's a big enough hole. Just have to be able to fish it in there. I'm turning it on. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. Is it necessary? Probably not. Nope. Fraction bigger. All right, we'll go one size bigger. All right, lights out of the way. All right, so next size drill bit. So, what did I say? 9/64. This looks like the same size. 6/32. It's a little bit bigger. All right. I should just be able to open up that hole fairly easy. I can keep all my wood pieces in here. All right, let's try it. I am going to stick my hand in there just to make sure that I can feel the hole now, so I know I'm not under it. Yeah, that is not much bigger. I don't know what they're talking about. Let's go to the next size up. What is this one? 11/64, which sounds familiar, so maybe that's what I always use. I need to write it down. All right, 11/64. Right, hold, hit the hole. All right, make sure it's still good, still feels good. Lights. Throwing things on the floor. And will my lights fish through? Yes, yay. And we have success. Okay. So 11/64. Write that down. Where's my notes? I'm going to write it down because you know what? Next year I will be doing the same thing and I will be like, what size was that? I don't know. I don't remember what size it was. Where is my marker? Oh my gosh, I just used it earlier. There you are. All right, so drill bit for lights. 11. Oh my gosh, I can't write. 6/4. That's horrible, but maybe I can read it. Okay. All right. There's our two holes. Get rid of my tools, my sizing tools. All right. Drop it off. Screw it on. I usually keep my drill bit off and my screw bits on, and these I keep in here. That one goes there. Okay. Now I have wood everywhere. Let's see how dusty we are. Not too bad. All right, let's clean that up. I think my batteries are good in my little guy. Let me see if I can find him. He's sitting here somewhere. He's buried. A little ladybug. All right. All better. Okie doke. So we have our holes for our lights. Look what I bought, guys. Told you I needed these. I found some on Amazon. They're not bad. They're okay. I don't know if they're as good as the ones I've been getting at Hobby Lobby, but they seem okay. All right. So we've got our light holes, and hopefully that will work properly. So let's get the fence put on there. We said we were going to do that. I want to get the fence put on there. I didn't even think about that. Is it going to hit? Ooh, I think it's clear. Whew. I was about to be worried. Is it clear? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Make sure the leg of your dresser is not hitting your light hole, because that would have been bad. I would have got to that point and been like, why can't I get my light in there? All right, good. It's clear. I was like, that would have been so bad. I can't see light. It's so hard to get this angle. Why can't I get the angle? Oh, there. See? If that had been over a fraction of an inch closer, I would have hit that leg. That would have been a disaster. Oh my goodness. Okay. Does not hit my leg, so that is good. We are happy. So I'll go up there, go around there, out through here for our lantern. I think we're good. I think that's all the holes. I don't think I need one here. I really don't. There shouldn't really be a reason. If worse came to worse, I could probably feed another one up through that hole if I had to. Yeah, I don't think I need another one. There shouldn't be any reason. I'm just not going to do it because I don't think I do. All right, we don't need to keep that in there. But we do need to get that attached. So I said I was going to do it. Let's do it. Because I'll forget and we won't get anywhere today. And that will be bad. And then we need to attach this guy. So fences. Where did you put them? I put them somewhere. Oh, there they are. Yay, fences. Let's get our fences on. And then we can work on our ground and all that. But I want to put the fences on first because I think if I don't, it'll be a problem. I'm not worried about any of that white showing. I'll grunge that all up later. Not a big deal. All right, so fences go small side out, big side in. And they are going through here. So I changed this to floral wire. I was trying to be frugal and use the other wire and repurpose. And I just decided my floral wire was a better choice. It's already black. And it's a little bit thicker. Not much, but a little. So I'm just using this 26 gauge floral wire because I happen to have it already. So we're going to use that. So we go through one hole there. I'm going to get both of them through. Okay, one there. So I've already put these holes in. I just put them in with an awl. I just stabbed it with an awl. It went right through, real easy. I probably could have stabbed that, but it's not thick enough. So, and then this one has a second hole. Okay. Let me think about how I was thinking this worked. Did I go through here? Or did I go through there? Okay. So on this one, this wire, the one we just stick in there, goes through the whole inside the book here. Because this side has the lip on it. It's a little different than the other side. If I can find the hole. It's hard to do. Let's see if I can find it this way. Did I hit it? I did. Alright, so it's already got a hole there. I can pull it snug. Maybe. Yeah. I put a second hole there for some reason. I'm trying to think what I was thinking. Why I needed it. I think I wasn't going to go around this. Is that what I was thinking? Or was I going to go through here? Let me see. Let's see. Look, I'll see which looks better. So, oh my gosh, you need tweezers for this. So if I go through, oh, don't twist on me. If I go through there, then the closure is there. I I think I wanted the closure on the inside, so this isn't how I was doing it. Let me think about how I was doing it, because I've obviously gotten very confused now. All right, so I was going through here. I know this one goes straight through. Oh my gosh, hit the hole. So the first one goes inside. That makes sense. The second one must go, okay, it goes through the lip first. That's why. It goes through the lip first, and then it goes to the inside through the other hole. Like that. And that's how I was hiding the wire. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so then my wire goes all the way to the inside. You just got to figure out which wire to pull. Which one is it? Okay, you pull them snug, and then it fits on there. Okay, so that's why I had that extra hole. Let's see if I can get this one on there now that I've got the top one on there in my way. I haven't tightened it down though, so. All right, so this one goes through the first hole there that goes to the inside. This one goes through the lip in the book. Okay. Can y'all see good enough? Okay, so through the lip in the book. What am I catching on? Can't tell. Maybe it's just short. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, it's catching there. Through the lip in the book, and then through this hole. That's what that extra hole is for. It's so that I didn't have the wire showing, because I couldn't just go through because of this edge. It didn't work. So I had to do it that way. So try to get them snug. Not so snug that you can't move the fence, okay? Snug that you can move the fence a little. I don't want to move it a lot, but a little. All right, and then we come to the inside. Let's see if we can support this. Okay, get my light in here. This is tricky. Okay. Okay. There. So then we've got our 2 wires in there. Okay. And I'm going to put 1 wire. All right, so the lights might not work with this because I'm going to do this now. I'm not going to do the lights yet, I don't think. Oh, I could, I guess. I just don't know. I don't want to do them now because I don't know where I'm going to put everything. But I am going to put that wood because I'm worried that that little thin piece of book material might not be strong enough. I can always cover it with paint. Hot glue, paint, whatever it takes to cover the wires later. But that's what this is for. This is just to give that wire a little bit of support. It should fit. Why is it not fitting? Oh, it's because of the floor. I added the floor. Okay. Helps if you don't change the size of things. So let's chop off enough for the floor. So this is just going on each side of that wire. And all it really is a stabilizer. So, and then I'm going to take that wire and twist it around that wood. And I'm just trying to twist it snug. Like I said, not so snug that I can't move it, but snug enough that it lays flat. You need like 15 tweezers or really, really tiny hands. And I have some small hands. Well, I have long hands. I have very long fingers. Oh my goodness, that one's a challenge. You gotta be able to hold them both to twist it. Right there, I think I got it. Only has to be twisted a few times, but jeez, challenging me there. All right, so once you get it twisted, then you can kind of just hide the wires up the edge there. And probably probably not going to freak out about that just yet because I'm going to be putting, and I don't want to chop them off just yet, just in case I run into an issue. But I could clip them off extra if I wanted. So now we've got this. It's attached. And we got to do the other side. And the other side only has the two because it just has to go through there and there. It doesn't have that lip to deal with. So let's see, how can I do this? I think that way. See if I can see it. Nope, this way. Sorry, it's a lot of moving. I'm sorry, I'm probably getting all out of focus. All right, so 2 wires. Make sure that they're on here. I went around this several times and I put grit paste over it to kind of hold it in place. And then they're kind of open, like right here. Okay. So this one goes in the back. This one goes in the back. And you can reach in, try to grab it. Okay, and then this one goes through the top. Okay. All right, once we get it where we want it, same thing, got to reach in and put our little piece of wood on there. So I'm laying those out on each side. Where's the other one? I can't see it. I'm trying to see. Oh my goodness, light. Which way is that? There it is. Okay. Okay. Other stick, which I need to cut too. No? This one fits. Go figure. Does it fit all the way? No, it doesn't fit all the way. Okay. It's like, why would it fit? I cut them the same size. All right, there we go. So we're just sticking our little piece of wood in there. Like I said, it's just support. Don't know if it's needed or not, but we're putting it. Try to twist that. Like I said, it's challenging. It's such a small little area to get into. And this one. It wouldn't be a big deal if I wasn't trying to show you what I'm doing. It's not as bad, but when you're trying to show, it's always a little more challenging. Just make sure it's snug enough. Yeah, that's about. Yeah, I don't want it so snug that it's just falling off, but I don't, or you know, that you can't move it. All right, so there, we've got our 2 wires in there. They're just kind of sitting there for now. They'll be hidden behind the desk or something, who knows. And I twisted them like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 times. Enough to lock it in there. I'm just trying to flatten that one. It's really not cooperating. Okay, so they've got their little piece of wood, and that's just gonna keep everything hopefully strong. Okay, whew. Now I'm exhausted. Let's see. So, should I do lights? Should I put this on? I don't know if I want to put that on yet. Maybe I should do lights. If I do, I'm just going to have to go ahead and put the table and stuff and be done. I don't know what I'm going to do with the ceiling. Right now it's just black. I thought about trying to add something to it. I think it's going to be hidden. I think because of having that thing there and the lights, I don't think I need to put anything there. So I think I'm just going to leave it black. If it's a problem later, I guess I could touch it up with some paint or something. Throw a little bit of stucco texture in there or something. I don't know. But I really don't think you're going to be able to see it. So I think I'm just going to leave it. All right, let's just go ahead and throw lights in the furniture. What time is it? Do we get time? We get time. We got to get somewhere on this. It's taking too long, as always. All right, so fresh lights. Grab a fresh pack. Update these. So when I buy these, that way I know how old they are. When I buy them, I write on them what color they are and the year. Okay. It just helps if, you know. That way I don't have, you know, a bunch of really, really old ones. I don't think I have any whites left from 24 except for that test one that I've been working on. Or from 23. All these are from this year. Okay. Make sure they work before you use them. Always test them. Make sure they're working. As if the lights die, that's pretty much it. You can't really string them. It just doesn't work on these vignettes because they're usually glued in and everything else. So that's usually just it. Let's see if I can find the opening for this thing. I know it's right here somewhere. There it is. Okay. All right. If you start this wrong, it gets all twisted up, so try not to start them wrong. Like I said, they're very, very long. All right, so we do need a popsicle stick for our lights to wrap around, so let's do that. I need one that's black. It won't take but a second to dry, so I don't know if I want to go this thick. Do I? I think I'll use one of my, oh, that's probably about the right size. Almost. I'll just cut it. I was going to use one of my, find a creative way to reuse something. Well, we're going to reuse you. I was going to use the bigger one, but I think I'll just use this. I have a whole bunch of these. They're from those popsicles I eat. What are they called? They don't even say on them. Are they Johnny Pops? I think they're Johnny Pops. Very tasty. I'm just going to cut off the ends of these. Debating if it needs to be flush. Trying to remember how I did it last year. I think I just taped it to the cardboard. It would give it more stability if I had it flush. But I feel like I just taped it to the cardboard. So let's just go ahead and paint it. Like I said, I don't think it'll show, but better safe than sorry. Because trying to paint it afterward would kind of be a pain. So I'm going to do a really lazy way of painting. Because I don't really care what it looks like. Just want it to be covered. All right, black paint on it. We'll let that dry for a minute. Whoops, don't drop that. Don't drop your paint. That would be bad. Let that dry for a minute. Clean off my fingers. Okay, so let's see. We're going to pull our lights in first, I think. If I can find the hole. Interesting. They should be the same size, but it's hitting something. It might be hitting that wood still. Where's my awl or something? I just need something to make that bigger. Know what it's hitting. It could be that this light's not the same size, but logically, yeah, it has to be the same size. It's like, so I don't know what it was hitting. It was hitting something. All right, so I'm going to pull these through. Nope. Yeah, maybe. There. I'm trying, guys. All 5 billion lights. I usually keep them on just to make sure that they don't go out. I've had them go out. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes I get a bad one or something. All right, so all the way to the last one, and then you got that thicker wire, okay? And the thicker wire stays in there. And for right now, we're just going to tape this down just to hold it in place. Probably glue it later. Maybe. Maybe I'll glue it, maybe I won't. I don't know. But for right now, we're just going to throw some masking tape on it so it's not moving around and causing issues. If you do decide to glue it down, make sure you glue it where you can get to your battery, whichever side that might be. These have screws on this side, but they also have like a fold here, like it comes open. And I can't remember if you have to do both. So I may make it so that it's not completely sealed down, because it's a weird pack. You might be able to do it, but I feel like you had to be on the other side, but the screws were on this side, which is kind of weird. So I feel like I usually just keep it loose. You can put it in like in a little box. I've made little boxes for them, which is a bit of a challenge, but I've done it. You know me. I'll do things that are silly and take a lot of time. I made this little teeny tiny box with Velcro to hold my light pack because I had a situation where I needed to hide it, and it just goes in there like so, and then the little Velcro holds it in place, and then you can tape the Velcro, you can glue that to whatever it is, and then all you have to do is open it up and pull it out. And I know that's extreme, but I don't know why. I may end up using it if I find out it's not going to work right. Because if you have to get to both sides of the battery, you got to have it free. Sometimes that is the case. All right, so we got all our 5 billion lights here. Enough tape to keep that from moving? Probably. That masking tape's pretty strong, but we'll throw one more on there for Good measure. All right. So, where are we at? Back to our lights. So, we got to put our little dresser in there. Figure out where that's going to go. I don't know if I'm going to put anything on the floor. What should I put on the floor? I got to start thinking about where I'm going to put things, because that's where the lights come into play, especially candles. Because I've got one in the candles, at least one or two. So I'm going to put the dresser in first. Hutch, whatever it is, table, nightstand, I don't know. It's something. I'm going to pull this light so that it's not in my way. So maybe we'll pull that one down there. Try to see if I can get above that one. We'll put three. We'll put three down there for right now. And then have our wire there. Usually I would kind of hot glue this as I go, but I got to figure it out. Right, so put that there. And then these will be for something on the floor. And then we need a couple for on the table. This is so tricky. A couple for on the table. I know I want maybe one candle on the table. I don't think there's anything else on the table that's lit. The crystal ball isn't lit, I don't think. It would look cool lit, but I don't think it can be lit. I'm trying to find it. Tied in here somewhere, probably in here. All right, where are you at, crystal ball? Are you in here? There you are. Could you be lit? It might can. Let's see. What would that do? With that light? Hold on. It would light. Interesting. Well, maybe I'll throw one in there. It's got a hole from something, so that it does kind of show up through it. Plus it's very thin because it was just a plastic cap from one of these. So other than the black and silver paint, that's all it was. So I can light it. Why not? All right, so one on the table for that, maybe one for a candle. So two on the table. And so we got three down there, two here, at least. And then go up the edge, up to here. And then we're going to wrap around our thing. All right. I'm not ready to put my candles. I'm just not. But I am going to try to start gluing it into place, because I can always finagle this as long as I have the right number of lights in the area. Should be okay. So let me plug my hot glue in, because I'm going to need to kind of start putting it into place a little. So let me plug that in. It doesn't take too very long to heat up. Okay. Guys, I'm going to zoom back out just a little bit, because it's all over. It keeps saying trying to reconnect. I hate when it does that. Alright. And a silicone tray thingy, so I don't drip everywhere. Okay. Let's see. So we got three there. Should I just go ahead and glue that table into place? The table doesn't absolutely have to be glued. It does fit in there very tightly, but I might try to glue it. I don't know how flush it's fitting on the floor, because my floor is a little funky and my table legs aren't perfect. They're still a little off. I could throw some hot glue under them, I guess. I don't like using hot glue. At least not for things like that. What else do I have? I have wood glue, of course, that'll hold, but that'll hold really, really well. so well that if anything happens and I have to move it, I'm in trouble. Gem Tech's a little thicker. I think I still needed to sand these back legs off more. They're still not hitting right. Now I could fake it, but it's going to be slanted. Yeah, they're totally not hitting. That's always a challenge when you cut down your legs, getting them even. I think the back ones are still too long. I'm going to try to hit it with some sandpaper real quick. I'm going to do it off camera because it's going to be, it's just going to shake too much. So just bear with me. I do this on my floor. I just got to get a little off of these back legs and see if I can get them to fit flush. Let's see if that's any better. Nope. This one is, but this one's still long. You wouldn't think it'd be that difficult, but it is. Any better? Wow. It's close. It's close. It's close. Close. Sorry. I know it's a lot of... I hope it's not too noisy. It's hard to sand and not be noisy. It's so funny because they look even too. It could be my floor. It could always be the floor. It could be hitting a wire or something. That's closer. Only got a tiny bit of wobble now. I think I can get away with that. Okay. All right. We're just gonna do hot glue. I have a feeling it's the only thing that's really gonna work. All right. So should I do these wires? Should I just chop them off? Let's get these out of the way because I don't want to chop these off. Then I'll be getting out a whole new pack. We don't want that. All right. So I've got these two extraneous wires. Where did my tweezers run off to? They're buried. I can't see them. Oh, there they are. Okay. I could hide them. I just don't know if I can. And I think it'll be easier just to... I'm going to take one more wrap and just chop them off. Alright, there's one. Tweezers. That one looks like it's got about 4 or 5 already. Okay. I'm just going to shove that down in behind that piece of wood. And then I'll probably end up throwing hot glue over for the lights, so. Okay, so shove that behind. Other side. Make sure I'm going the right way. Yeah. Alright, get that one off. And one more. I can't see it. Right there, I see it. Okay, and we got our little wires smaller so they can be hidden easier. Hopefully they won't fall apart. I wrapped them like 5 times. I think it should be all right. Okay. Whew. This is exhausting, guys. It's a workout. Okay. Floor. So, what did I say? 1, 2, 3. I want to be sure I can get a lights behind it. What did I say, 3 in the bottom? I don't know if I'll need 3, but we'll do 3. 1, 2, 3. And then this one is gonna go up. So I just gotta stick this one first. We're just gonna stick it I'm always worried I won't have enough light space, but I think it'll be all right. We're gonna stick it right here. So I'm gonna try to turn it to where the wire is on the wall. And it's above the table just a little. Okay. So right there. Let's see if we can do this. Just a little bit of hot glue right there. And just on the wire, not the light. I was told that matters. I don't know why. I'm sure there's a reason. Dry. Okay. And then shove these down here for now. So the hardest part is getting everything out of your way. Oh my gosh, my back. All right, we're going to try to put this table in. I'm just going to put a drop of hot glue on each leg and hope it doesn't dry before I can set it in there. Ah, my wire's in my way. Nice seated. Kinda, sorta. Alright, that's good enough. Does it look flat? I think so. Okay, I think it's flat. Whew. I don't know how much y'all can see because this lighting is just not, it's not really set up for getting inside little teeny places. There. Okay. So we said we needed something on the table, so we're going to pull this back down for a second and put one, ignore the 5,000 strings, 1, 2, crystal ball light, and then the candle, at least one candle. We'll just do 2, I think. I'll do 3 because I don't know if the wire is going to work out right. So we'll do 3. And then we'll come out right there. And then we're just going to have this sit just above that one. And we're going to shove that wire behind it. And into this corner. Maybe I'll figure out our hutch. This is going to be in the front because I don't want it in the way. Try to get some hot glue in there. Ooh, this is tricky. Stay. Can you stay for just a second? My cord is very short. Cooperate. I need a small spatula thingy. Oh, that one's not going to work. Let's try this. So I ain't putting my finger in that. Is it drying? Another reason it helps to have your lights lit, because you can see where they are. Alright, so we've got lights for the top and lights for the bottom. I'm just going to set them there for now. And we're going to continue up here. I hope this part's not boring. If you ever decide to do one yourself, you'll know how. Alright, so we're just going to continue with a little glob. Oh my gosh. My cord literally won't reach any further. I'm going to put a little glob right there. For that wire. And then we're going to come up to the top. Try to get into the corner. I'm just trying trying to fold it so it stays tight. Again, I can't reach. Little dab. Shove it in there. Okay. We have a billion spider webs. That's cool. It'll add to the effect, right? All right. Now we need to decide if we want to come forward. I think forward, across, back, across. I'm debating if I want them back there or only in the front. I think only in the front because I'm going to have stuff on the shelf, but I don't know that it needs to be lit from behind. I have enough, probably. I don't know. How many do I have? Maybe not. So we're just going to go in the front, because I think that's going to leave just the right amount. So I got to find my popsicle stick. Now, let's see where we want to. We're going to start this here, so I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Just a drop. If these are a pain, I can always take a hot dryer to get rid of them, but I think they're just going to look like spider webs, so I might just leave them. It's one of those times where you don't really care because it just looks like spider webs. So just make sure that's still okay. Looks good. Why does it look crooked? Does it look crooked or is it just me? I don't know. It does look crooked, doesn't it? Doesn't look as crooked that way. Must be the table. It's possible this side's a little bit taller, because I also cut that down, so, you know. All right, I think that's about right. So what's going to go on top of there is scrolls and maybe a book or two. So I don't think it's going to need lit. It's just going to be random scrolls sitting there, you know. Oh my gosh, I need such tiny fingers. So random scrolls, random scrolls that I can't place, and then the potion bottles, which are floating around here somewhere. 5 billion potion bottles. I think I had a couple that would fit up there. I feel like. Get some of that hot glue off because I can't use them. I feel like these would fit. Yeah. So these potion bottles, we'll put it up there. I was just debating if I want lights behind them, because if I could put maybe just one or two, it might look cool. So I may come back down before I go in the lantern if I have enough. We'll see, because I got to wrap enough around here, and then maybe put one, maybe just slide one over behind, just to give some light behind them. If I can just get one over there. And then the potion bottles, I think, might show up a little bit. I'm going to have them out a little bit, so I'm thinking that will show. I'm hoping. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so we'll go with that thought. We'll go with that. All right, so we need our piece of material, which I said is a little short, so we're going to have to put it on something. So this is a little short. What can I put it on? Just some cardstock, I guess. It doesn't have to be super strong. Where's the other one? Whew. I'm standing a lot today. That's why my back's hurting, because I have to be tall enough to see. I've got the lace. Where is the other piece? Oh my gosh, I don't even know. All right. So this lace is going to go with this piece. So I think that'll look cool. It won't look like cardboard then. So it needs to be the same length as that, approximately. So about there. So let's cut that off. And then it's going to hang down. I don't want it so far down that it interferes with seeing the potions. So I want to use this as a base, but I want the lace to hang below it also. So I think I'm going to cut this off. I could just fold it in half and then glue it to the top. Ooh, I could do that. Let's do that. I'm going to fold it like along here so it's a little bit shorter. We'll add this last. And then I got to attach it to something. So let's figure that out. All right. I need the other piece. I have two of these. Gosh, where did it go? It's buried in here, I'm sure. Oh, here's a piece. Maybe I was going to use this. Maybe. Maybe. I don't think I want it that thick, though, because if it's that thick, you can't see through it. There it is. It's hiding. Are these the same? They are, right? Yeah. Okay. I would love to be able to see through it a little, but even this probably isn't super see-throughable, so it may not matter. And I'm going to glue the wood to this. So I think if I attach this to the ceiling, that is probably going to be all I need to hold that in place. I think. All right. So I'm going to fold these. I'm going to try to fold these. Just a little. Just like this. I needed them shorter. They're a little long. Let's see if I can get this one to match. How much longer do I need it? Can y'all see that still? Yeah, okay. So I need it to be, we're going to attach it to the side that's actually flat. I need just one more little thingy. So just this one. So this just has to be attached together somehow. Somehow. I think I'm just gonna glue it. Just a tiny drop of glue on the edge there, and the cardboard itself will hold it once we get it in place. Not cardboard, but the craft stick. But for right now, I'm just gonna put a teeny bit there. Hopefully that matches. Is it kind of close? That's pretty close. It's not too bad. All right, so we're gonna do that. Just hold these two pieces together. And then this top will be where it glues to the ceiling. I might use a little combination of glue, hot glue, and something else, just to be sure. And then this is going to glue with the lights on the back. Okay? And then the lace will hide most of that. It won't completely hide it, but it will camouflage it. Okay, that's the plan. That is the plan. So, with that in mind, this is the tricky part. So the tricky part is figuring out, do I want to put this in place first? No, we want to put it all in place at the same time. Let me put this back on. This is very dry. I don't know why. I probably didn't clean it good last time. Yeah, it's totally gooking up there. All right, there. See if I can do this without stabbing myself. Stabbed myself so many times putting my glue back in this week. All the time, guys. I'm such a klutz. Anyway, all right, so let's get back over here where you can see me, kind of, sort of. Whew, take a deep breath because I'm running out of energy. All right, so I got to wrap these lights so that we have as many as we can and still have, ideally, two. One for the lantern, one for the back wall. So I can't go past this one. So that's the goal. So we're just going to start wrapping, and we're going to aim for our light being on the back side. Okay, so as I'm wrapping, I want to start it where it approximately needs to be, which looks like about there. And I'm going to aim for that light being on the back. Okay, and if it doesn't quite hit on the back, I'm going to cheat it and move over like so, because I want all the lights to be on that side. And there's a lot of space between these lights, so they rarely work out perfectly. You have to just kind of finagle them. So there's two. And come over here. There's the third one. Let's get a little bit closer. This gives a decent amount of light this way. How many we got left? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We got 3 left. So plenty left. Which is fine. I'd rather have more than enough than not enough. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so this last one, we're just going to leave it out. Okay, so there's enough lights for that area. And now we're going to secure these as best we can first. So we're just going to put some hot glue, not on the lights, ideally, because I think that's bad. So just the wires. Try not to hit the light. Don't move on me. Ouch. Hot. That's some hot, hot glue. I'm just trying to hit the outside wires as best I can. They're kind of close, so. All right, that should be good. Let me unattach my finger. All right. Dry. I burnt myself again today. Burnt myself cooking again today, of course. Like I said, I'm so accident prone. My grandma used to tease me all the time. She's like, girl, you are so accident prone. It's because I'm always doing something. All right, so we're going to glue this piece to the front of our little thing here. So this becomes our little attachment piece. So we got to glue that to that. And we're just going to use, I guess, hot glue, because I don't think anything else is going to work. So I'm going to put a thin bead of hot glue on there real quick and hope I can get this on there before it cools and in the right direction. Oh my gosh. You need 20 hands. All right, get it on there. I just want it to stay underneath. It's not terrible. It's not ideal, but it's not terrible. Okay. Missed. Please don't burn me. Where's my tweezers or something? I can't squeeze it. All right, squeeze. Okay, now I'm going to flip it. We need to get our lace on there. So let's figure out our lace. So this is our piece. And I'm just going to attach it to the front, and it's where it hangs down. Is this our piece? This looks too long. Do I have a shorter one somewhere? Is this our piece? I just cut it long. This almost fits, but yeah, this one's too short, so this has to be it. All right, I just cut it a little too long. That's all right. We can trim it. Honestly, I might just leave it because it'll probably show. So I'm going to cut just above that. Looks like about 1/4 of an inch above those little lines. Cut about here. And we're just going to try to attach it to the front somehow. I wonder what glue would work best. I don't think I want to use hot glue. Maybe some Fabri-Tac. Probably Fabri-Tac. What time is it? It's getting late. Oh my gosh, it's almost 11. Where did the time go? I don't even know. All right, so we're going to try to get this lace on here with some Fabri-Tac. I just got Fabri-Tac all over my hand. Yuck. I'm letting it hang below just a tiny bit so that ruffles over the edge. There. It's messy and it's coming through and it's getting all over my fingers. Okay, I'll wipe my fingers off. All right, now I gotta trim that somehow. I did a horrible job of cutting it, so we're going to try to trim it. Just a little. All right, there. And then we got to glue it to the top. So we've got that little ledge. And I said I was going to use 2 different glues. I think I will use hot glue and I think some of this gem glue. Where did that gem glue? Because it's nice and thick. This gem tack works on just about anything. So I'll use this in the hot glue and hopefully one of them will hold. So we're just going to put a dot, a dot, a dot, a dot. And then try and hot glue the rest. I want this to go ideally behind. All right. We can do this. Hot glue, hot glue, hot glue. Don't get your finger. Hot glue. And shove that up there. I touched it. Don't touch it. I'm sorry, guys. I know you don't like seeing me hurt myself. I don't like seeing me hurt myself. And hopefully I am clear of my cabinet. I should be. I feel like it was further enough down, but just in case, let's double check it real quick. Because that has to close inside. I think I could get it low enough that it won't be a problem. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. Because I didn't want to push this any further back if possible. Right there. We got it. It was crazy. Some small injuries, but nothing too bad. I hope y'all don't cringe every time I burn myself. Like I said, I do it all the time. I should be used to it. All right, I'm going to trim this lace just a little bit. Hopefully there's no wires under there. Just a little off there. Just don't want it catching in this door. It's cute, right? All right, I'm going to glue this to this too. So, I guess we're just going to use hot glue. I think it'll be fine. If it pops off, I can always glue it back. I don't think it'll pop off. This is Gorilla Glue. It's not just cheapo hot glue. It is good hot glue. So there is that. Hopefully I've got this the right direction because one direction was crooked and one direction wasn't. Does it look right? I can't tell. Kinda, sorta. I think so. Yeah, it's close enough. If it's a little crooked, then, you know, it's an old fallen apart house and it's got its excuses. All right, I think that's fairly flash. I can always throw grunge around it or something to make it better, but I think that's okay. All right, we got our light started. So these will have candles and stuff next week probably. These will have whatever. This goes up at the top, some in the back. We're just going to throw it in the back and then out for the lantern. Okay, I may do 2 for the May. So that's all the wiring. Crazy wiring. And I think that is a good stopping point, guys. Let me turn off my light. Shut our little door. I think we'll be good. And that is where we are at. So we got our little gate on there. Okay, and we've got our lights in place. And we got our little lock, and we've got our grunginess. Okay, so we'll do more next week, next Monday. We're getting close to Halloween, guys. I don't know where this month's gone. It is gone. But we should be getting close. We're getting at the point where it's just adding things, and it'll go much faster. It's all this difficult stuff that takes forever. All right, guys, that is it for our live. It's 11 o'clock. I have to get off the thing so I can let hubby have his time. And I will see you guys on, oh my gosh, Wednesday. I will see you on Wednesday. We're doing the journal on Wednesday. All right, y'all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. All right, bye-bye.